if you've been with me for a while, you know that 7 months ago I made a video titled like book review. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I kind of insinuated I was gonna make more book review videos. If you've been with me for a while, you know I didn't make another book review. And if we're being completely truthful here, I just read one book and it threw me off so badly that I didn't read since like 6 months ago. Like after a month after that video, I tried to read this book. I finally got through it and I just couldn't. It threw me off. And it's January, it's a new year. I'm finally back into reading. You might be like, what the fuck are you wearing? Well, that's not nice, is it? I have like a turtleneck. If that makes it any better. You guys know I'm in Texas. You guys know it's the freeze. You guys know that I never wear clothes for the cold. So I don't have that, you know? I'm in Texas. I don't really need that. One thing I want to like establish here is my channel is for entertainment. So if you're coming here for like a literature review, like a deep analysis, you're not getting it. I'm sorry. Maybe click off now, but if you want to stay for the fun in it, welcome to Venus Mars 444. If you guys ever wanted like a deep like literature analysis, oh my god, cat fur, let me know, because I could do that, you know? It's just, I'm more of, I'll write the paper and read it to you. It just feels kind of awkward being like, I don't know. So the way I'm gonna go about this is I'm gonna read the name. I'm gonna kind of give like a brief overview what it's about. I'm gonna try to do minimum spoilers because for some reason, anytime I talk about books, I immediately just give away everything. And this video, I'm trying to like convince you to read these. So why would you read them if you know what's happening? Okay, and then I'm gonna say my favorite quote from the book, what stood out to me. And then I'm just gonna give my opinions. But first, the first thing I read this year was The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. If you guys know me, you know I was a huge Hunger Games kid. I loved it. I had Barbies of all the characters. Joanna was my favorite. I'm sorry. I had a little crossbow so I could pretend to be Katniss. So I wanted to read this book for a long time. It's just I was younger when it came out and I was not really into reading at that moment in my life. So after being in a slump for a while, I was like, you know what would probably get me out of this? The Hunger Games. But I want to read the new ones because this one recently came out. But I feel like I had to read this one before I read that one and like a whole thing, you know? And I was right. It did get me out. So, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Trying to like... You guys know President Snow from the Hunger Games? We're going back in time to the 10th Hunger Games, and he's a mentor, okay? That's like, I'm not giving anything away with that. The quote that hit me the hardest from The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and it might not be like the most like important quote, I found it to be very important. It really like struck me, you know, was, "You look just like your father, Coriolanus." That got me. You guys know President Snow. You guys know he is a complex character. And I love that. I love reading as like the like villain or like the like evil one, you know? I love reading from that point of view. And one thing about me, you will see in every book I read in the past, I love an unreliable narrator. I think this executed it so well. And I loved how like calculated and like witty he was. But I will say, I think they made him less evil in the movie. I watched the movie after reading it, and I was like, I remember reading the book and being like, like gutted kind of, because I was like, oh, like that's a choice. And then I don't know, I feel like a lot of things were very important to me in the book that it might not be important to other people, so I could see why it was cut out the movie, but to me it just hit. So I think he could have been more evil in the movie. That's my only complaint, and it's not even about the book. I think the book was perfect. I love the book. The book got me back into everything. Sunrise on the Reaping. I really wanted to read this book, so I read this one. This one got me back into reading fully. This one inspired me to get back into reading fully. Sunrise on the Reaping. Suzanne Collins. I'm so sorry. I keep fucking saying it like the vampires. Collins. You guys remember Haymitch? We're going back in time again, but this is the 10th Hunger Games. This is the 50th, so we're at the second quarter quell. And Haymitch is going through it. He's like, how old is he? I think he's like 16 in this. He's young. He's young enough to be in the Hunger Games. And it's him going through his Hunger Games. And it's a quarter quell, so you know crazy's happening. That's my spoiler-free overview. My quote from it, it's long, but I've always loved this poem, I guess. So I don't know if you can count as like a quote from the Hunger Games, but it was in the Hunger Games. So I'm counting it because it also struck out to me, and it made me very emotional while reading this, because I'm already going through it, and then this is just being like pounded into me. My quote that hit me the most, I keep using the same words and I'm so sorry. My quote that hit me the most from Sunrise on the Reaping. Eagerly I wish the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow. From my books decrees of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore. For the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. Exactly. My opinions on this, I also love it. I think it was also executed very, very well. My only complaints are about the movies, and I'm so sorry for that, because this movie hasn't even come out. So it's not even like any issue with the movie itself. And like, it's my fault. But when I read the book, I imagined Maisie as Helga from Hey Arnold. So I was very shocked to see a very beautiful girl as Maisie in the trailer, which is nothing like bad. There was no point in the book that was like, hey, Maisie looks like Helga. I just kind of imagined that. Like the whole time imagining Haymitch as Haymitch. Like I had made up my own person as Haymitch. I don't know why I didn't imagine like Haymitch from the movies, but I imagined Helga with them. Amazing book. Love an unreliable narrator. And this book, usually I can predict things easily. I could not predict what was coming with this book. Next, Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I don't know what is coming over me. I tried to film like a quick rundown of this. I kept calling her Stephanie Meyer. That's the girl from Twilight, right? Yeah, that's the author of Twilight. I don't know what is coming over me where I need to keep thinking about Twilight. Heartless is, guys, anytime I see this name, I don't know how to pronounce it. Catherine? I thought Catherine during this. Catherine lives in Wonderland. It's like a retelling of, you guys remember the Queen of Hearts from the movie? Or the book, whatever you ingested the Alice in Wonderland lore with. It is a retelling of her before she became the Queen of Hearts. And I don't think that's spoilers, because that's literally like what it says, right? She's in Wonderland. Catherine's younger before she ever became. The king takes an interest in her. She takes an interest in the royal jester. I love a jester love interest. My quote from Heartless, you guys can predict it. It's literally like not even like a like, I don't know. I'm just very obvious with it, and I feel like it kind of gives spoilers, so not really. You guys know what's coming. My quote was off with his head, because it really kind of like confirms to you that she's not Catherine anymore, you know? And so that stood out to me. I really liked Heartless. I heard there's a musical, so I need to look into that. But I just really liked how deep it was. Not like there was so many layers of what was going on, in my opinion. Maybe I just read too much into things. That could also be a possibility. But I don't know. I don't have much to say about any of these because I really liked all of these. And I don't know how to say things without being like, I don't know how to say things without giving things away. I don't know. I like the way it was written. I like the way you can see her mindset change over time. And I like how it was gradual, you know? I don't like when books are like, you go to sleep and you're like, I don't know, like, innocent girl, and then you wake up the next morning and you're like, ooh, like evil murderer. I don't like that. I like to see like the gradual. I like to see like patience and like it took time. There's two different changes, I feel like. And the second one is a lot quicker. I liked that a lot as well. Am I giving things away? I don't know. Am I being too vague? I don't know. But I liked it a lot. Oh. Very quickly became my favorite book. I love it so much. Oh my god. The Song of Achilles. And you guys know, I bought this book last year, and I just never really touched it. I regret not touching it soon. How do I word that better? I regret not reading it sooner. Patroclus. Song of Achilles is about Patroclus and Achilles, and it's the story of Achilles, told from Patroclus's point of view. If you don't know, like, Greek mythology, that was really, really vague then, and I'm sorry. If you do know, it makes sense. Achilles, his whole thing is he is prophesied to be, like, the greatest warrior. Okay, it does. And him and Patroclus fall in love. It's so good. Oh my god. And I'm not one for like really like romantic books, to be honest with you. Like I know like most of these have like a romantic like side plot, except this one was like the main plot, you know? But oh my god. My quote, there was more to say, but for once we did not say it. There would be other times for speaking. Tonight and tomorrow and all days after that. I made a Google Doc. Don't scroll into it because you're gonna see I'm making up everything as I go. But I wrote down my quotes because I had been thinking about the quotes for a while. There is so many beautiful quotes from the Song of Achilles. There's, what's the one? Off my memory, it's like, it's as the poets say, he is like half my heart or like half my soul. I think it's half my soul. That one also hit me. My other quote. Okay, spoiler warning. Skip this part maybe. The other quote where it's like the last thing I thought, Achilles. Oh my god. And I don't cry, really. I don't really cry like that. But I was bawling my fucking eyes out. I was a little bit slow at the very beginning. But the second it got into things, and it got into things quick, and oh my god. That's all I have to say, because if I say anything else, I'm gonna give away everything. And it was so good, and if I'm gonna recommend you to read anything from here, I'm sorry, but it's Song of Achilles. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So Evelyn Hugo is an old Hollywood starlet. She was famous like the 50s. She's still famous, but that's when she was in the industry. She's older now, and she invites Dominique to come and write a book about her and about her life. My first quote, I don't know, I just feel like it really hit to me because it made me like, yeah, like I don't know. I really felt personal to that quote, I guess, is how, I don't know how I would say it. It is, don't ignore half of me so you can fit me into a box. And I think that was at like the beginning, you know? So that quote, it just builds and kind of builds, you know? Like, it's not said again if you're interpreting what I say as that. No, it's not said again, but it just becomes more relevant, I guess. Evelyn is a very complex character, and I love that. The other quote is like more of like the more famous one. It also hit me, but it is kind of a spoiler, so skip ahead if you don't want that. I spent half my time loving her and the other half hiding how much I loved her. Well, that one's kind of self-explanatory. I did see a lot of stuff skipping Dominique's part. Did I do that? Once. The plot twist I didn't expect at all. There was times where I felt it was a bit slow, but I feel like everything has that. But the final read of the month, I have not finished it. Circe by Madeline Miller. I love Song of Achilles. I was like, let's see what else she has made, you know, what else she has written. So I haven't fully read like the book to give you like a full overview, but it's Circe's life. Circe is the daughter of Helios, the god of the sun, and her mom's a nymph. I guess that wasn't mentioned back here. Circe is banished. You'll find out why. I haven't got that far into it, but the quote that I've liked so far is, a golden cage is still a cage. My only complaint is I truly have not figured out the plot. Like, okay, I'm not giving things away. Okay, word it carefully. We know a ship is supposed to come. Is that the plot? But the ship hasn't come yet, so maybe it's like I don't know. You know, it's been interesting. I have enjoyed it. It's just, I haven't fully figured it out yet. And it could be because I'm only halfway through. You know, it makes sense, but it's good so far. So that concludes my book review. Not really a review, more like a recommendation video where I talk too much. If you have any recommendations for me, I would love it, because I really don't know what to read after Circe. This is actually the order that I read everything in, so you could see like what got me into it, I guess. Thank you so much for watching. Don't expect more monthly book reviews because I feel like reading 6 books in a month is a lot. And I'm proud of myself for that, but I don't know if I can do that every month. Thank you guys for watching. I'm also sorry that we have not posted the podcast. We've been preparing for the freeze, and we've just been busy, but you can expect it soon. I think we're actually filming in a couple days. I don't want to give that away because I am also the kind to say a couple days and then I don't post for 2 weeks, so stay safe in the freeze. Thank you for watching. Give me book recommendations. Let me know any kinds of videos you want to see. And yeah, bye.